The house hummed with an uneasy stillness as she faced me. Her robe slid from her shoulders with a deliberate, almost theatrical slowness, silk trace in her skin before pulling at her feet. Her body looked the same, firm, toned. Every line familiar, unchanged by the years we'd shared. Her eyes found mine cold and precise. 24 years, she said, voice flat as ice. I've been faithful all this time, but tonight I won't be. He's coming. I don't care what you think. I'm going to be with him. Her confession didn't scorch. It froze something inside me. I didn't shout or plead. I moved with slow, steady purpose to the safe, spun the dial and lifted my magnum. This heft steadied me more than anger ever could. I breathed once and said quietly, if he crosses our threshold, there will be no coming back. Memories slid by. Years of small sacrifices. The life I helped build. Quiet nights that felt like proof of something real. All of it now dismissed with sentence. I had suspected betrayal for some time. Guarded messages, unexplained trips, that distant look whenever I reach for her hand. She thought she'd hidden it well. But betrayal leaves traces. Tiny smoky scents in the air that accumulate until you can't ignore them. Where others might have answered with heat, I answer with cold. Revenge, I decided, would be patient and methodical. I mirrored her emails, backed up her texts, followed finances, and kept quiet. I collected names, faces. In fact, she assumed I couldn't see. While she slept beside me, smug in triumph, I built a different kind of arsenal. Records, receipts, bank statements, photographs, proof that would not be erased by emotion. I prepared myself first. Assets were shifted, accounts restructured, legal seams tightened. I severed entanglement she took for granted, so that when the moment came, she would find the ground beneath her had already been rearranged. Her confidence was a house built on blind faith. I quietly removed key bricks. When he arrived, slick hair, cheap cologne, the kind of swagger that always seemed to hide insecurity. I greeted with a calm he did not expect. The gun remained visible enough to keep the room quiet, but the thing I slid across the table was far more lethal. A dossier. Photos of him and her entangled records that tied him to schemes and transactions he'd rather keep secret. The smirk drained from his face as he flipped the pages. He begged. He tried to bargain. He turned to her with pleading eyes. But for the first time, she looked at me and saw fear where there had once been complacency. You thought you could take my life? I said, measured and cold. Tonight you both lose it. I made one call to my attorney and one to the investigator I'd engaged months earlier. The case unfolded exactly as planned. Within hours, the law closing on him. His bravado collapsed into frantic explanations. By dawn, he was in custody. By afternoon, the divorce papers were served. Precise, comprehensive, leaving little that could be contested. Her world, once cushioned by my labor and loyalty, narrowed into a series of irretrievable losses. Friends who had admired her drifted away. Men who had pursued her vanished when they learned what had happened. She screamed and called me monstrous, but I only shook my head. I had been a husband for 24 years. She had ended the marriage the moment she chose someone else. I didn't seek to destroy her with violence. I dismantled the structures that had kept her comfortable. I let truth, cold, undeniable, legal, do the work. Now I live in the quiet that follows. I'm not triumphant in any petty way, nor am I hollow. There's a clarity that comes after something ends. The realization that the story has been rewritten and that my pages are blank again. She carries with her the memory of what she chose and what she lost, heavier than any wound, longer lasting than a single heated night. I could have burned everything down in a fit of rage, but I chose another path. Patience, preparation, and the slow administration of consequence. In the end, I lost what she had already given away.